Hello everyone, I'm RecV5,
And I am Sandman99.
and welcome back to Madden NFL 2005.
Yes, and this week, it's going to be week 1 of the regular season for the good old Alcatraz lifers.
Yes.
And before we jump into that, though, I have some more defensive plays to dissect. Because I'm still working on the Magicians. I started again. I went back to the drawing board again.
Oh, you scrapped it all and went...
Yeah, as I wasn't happy with the result that I got.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this yet either. I'm still working on it. I figured we have enough to keep us busy with the lifers for a while. So
yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't need to produce a result right away. But anyway, here we are. This is a variant of kind of that nickel blitz package that I've used for a long, long time.
Yep, I can see the safety crowded down the line over there.
Yep, but what I've done here is I basically moved the linebackers, pre-positioned them in a wide position, so it's basically like a 6-man line.
Yep.
Right? And I intended to use this as kind of as a goal line defense, like from about the 10-yard line inward, right? Yep. So anyway, if you want to start at the right-hand side, the safety crowded down to the line is actually playing a deep zone. And the corner on the outside there is playing a hook zone.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And if you go into the middle, the safety in the middle is also playing a hook zone. And on the other side, the nickel guy down at the line is playing a deep zone, and the outside corner is playing a hook zone.
Okay.
So, like basically what this is intended to be is something that will do a reasonably good job of stopping the run by hopefully creating some penetration into the backfield, but also, saturation short pass coverage, basically. Because when you're backed up to your own 6-yard line, well, you don't really need to worry about the offense throwing a deep pass, right?
Yeah.
So you might as well, cover the short part of the field as densely as possible. But I just wanted to show something here because there's a lot actually wrong with this play. There's one thing that went right, but it's not with the play design. It's more with the game design itself.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, if you want to watch, first you can watch the defensive line, and I've got 2 defensive linemen there, and I'm sending 6 here, right? And of course, that defensive tackle manages to slip through the gap almost right away.
Yep.
And because I'm sending 6, there is no one left who can move over to pick him up.
Yeah. Like
quite often you'll see another offensive lineman, a guard or somebody like that, move over and try to block someone who, shoots a gap, right?
Yeah, but it's 6-on-6 here.
Basically, it's 6-on-6, yeah, because they left a running back in the block.
Yeah.
But what I want to look at particularly is the way that the defensive secondary covers this. And it's really, like terrible game design in my opinion.
All right.
Because if you watch now, the 3 receivers, the 2 outside wide receivers and the slot receiver, all run routes downfield.
Yep.
And on the left, you've got the halfback there trying to sneak out of the backfield, maybe on a circle route or something like that.
Yep.
But if you look at how the middle safety plays this, okay, this is wrong, okay?
Yeah,
because
especially because he's the last man back.
Yeah, he manages to make that leaping save and bat the pass down. But what you have to do is go back to the beginning of this play and isolate him and watch how he plays this. And you see how the quarterback starts to drop back, and the safety basically stands there in the middle of his zone.
Uh-huh.
And actually, he twitches back and forth a little bit. Yeah. You see that? How but that's basically a big nothing burger. I think that's something the game designers put in to show a little bit of movement there. Yeah. To maybe give people the impression that guy is not just standing in the middle of his zone doing nothing until the ball's thrown, right?
Unlike in modern Madden, where they actually just stand there and do nothing.
Yeah, but basically, for all intents and purposes, he stands there in the middle of his hook zone and does absolutely nothing, and then he reacts when the ball's thrown, okay? Yeah. And so that's the number 1 wrong thing. And the number 2 wrong thing, of course, is the way that the other safety there plays the coverage on this guy. Because when you see at the beginning of the play again and you watch him, he starts to back up as number 88 runs down the field, and it's obvious by now he's covering number 88, okay?
And number 8 is going in the middle of the field.
But watch what happens when number 88 moves back to a certain point. Well, why does this guy turn toward the outside when he's covering number 88?
Yeah, there's no reason to.
Why wouldn't you turn toward the same side that the receiver you're covering is going, right?
And then he makes this backwards moonwalk maneuver.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at the other side of the field, though, the nickel corner mirrors his movement.
See yeah.
Although in this case you can say, well, the wide receiver's on the outside at least.
Yeah, so at least it doesn't matter.
But basically, those two guys have identical assignments, just on opposite sides of the field, right? But they basically have identical deep zone assignments. They both act the same way.
Yeah, they're synchronized.
Right? And if you watch when the quarterback releases this ball, well, that guy turns around just as the quarterback releases his ball.
Yep.
Too. And you know what? He could see, if you back up just a little bit, and you can see the quarterback as he cocks his arm to throw. Well, that guy is still facing the line of scrimmage when the quarterback cocks his arm to throw.
Well, actually, he starts to turn as soon as the quarterback cocks his arm.
Yeah, and you know what? If you would think if you're backing away from the line of scrimmage and you can see what's going on there, that you would see that the quarterback is preparing to throw the ball.
Yeah, it's time to start strafing
it's time to
towards the middle of the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's throwing it at this guy.
And another thing to look at is, like how this middle safety plays this. Well, if you back up a little bit here, I think what should happen as soon as he sees this receiver, the slot receiver, break toward the middle of the field, he should move over to approximately where you just had the blue circle.
Yeah, he should start strafing over this way.
He should start moving over to help out covering that receiver, because if you zoom out to a wide view, well, where are the other receivers on the field? You've got a wide receiver on the right who's almost on the sideline, and a wide receiver on the left who's almost on the sideline.
Yeah, and this is the only guy that's entering his zone.
So that is the only guy entering his zone. And yeah, later on, you can see that the halfback will sneak out on one of those circle routes, but he comes out of the backfield so late that if I were playing safety...
This looks almost like a possible double team block still.
Yeah. If I were playing safety, well, the first guy I'm going to look at is the guy who is the most immediate threat, who is going to enter my zone first, right?
And it's this guy.
Yeah, and you know what? The leaping pass bat down thing there, that animation should not even be a choice in this situation. There are only two acceptable ways to play this, okay? And one way is to move over toward that receiver, and when the ball comes to him, you hit him as he's trying to catch the ball.
And try and stick an arm in there.
To try and, like one way is you try to hit him and force a drop by hitting him hard.
Yep. The
other way would be to, like reach around in front of him with your arm and try and, bat the ball away from him.
And then hit him after the fact.
But in both cases, you maintain body position between him and the end zone.
Yeah.
You never let him get behind you, right? Especially because there's no zone flooding or anything like that going on here, right? There's no excuse for it.
Yeah.
Like I could see if they had another receiver on the other side of the field entering, like more or less in the same place.
But they don't.
As this guy, because then this safety would have to make a choice as to which way he's going to go, right? And the guy that he decides not to cover, obviously, is going to get behind him because that's a 2-on-1 zone flood, right?
That's right, yep.
But in this case, it's 1-on-1. And you know what? In real life, I think if a coach saw a defensive player do this, that player would not be playing. Okay? Because that is absolutely the worst possible thing that you can do.
Well, both of these are terrible, really.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's basically programming. It's game design flaw.
Yeah, that's how you give up touchdowns on even a ideally solid defense.
And you know what? I'm not going to claim to be a football expert. I don't know anything more about football than the next guy who sits in front of his TV on a Sunday.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure if I were playing number 30's position there, if you back up, well, it would be obvious to me from this perspective who is going to enter my zone first. Right? It becomes obvious fairly quickly. Like, And what you'd do is you would move over and you would start to cover that guy.
Yeah,
right?
Literally.
Like, literally, you would move over and start to cover that guy, regardless of...
You'd start to cover him, even starting here. You would make a break towards him as soon as the ball snapped, because he's the only guy in the middle so far. And you'd
choose an angle of pursuit roughly parallel with the yard line that he's standing on.
That's right.
Right?
And you just move over here and stand here.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily stand there. You'd move over there and cover that guy. Like, basically, you would try to shadow him wherever he tried to go. And the only time you would not continue to follow him is if he maybe broke back toward the outside of the field again and somebody else picks up the coverage. Then you return to your position in the middle of the field.
Well, here's the worst part, too, is if he takes a couple steps over and if he even stands on this hash mark and the quarterback decides to throw this ball anyways into this double coverage, even though this guy's kind of blown his coverage assignment.
Yeah.
Well, if you're standing here, it's a lot more safe to just step in front of that and put your hands up and catch it.
Yeah.
Than it is to try to do something like this.
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, I have never, in watching football games, I have never seen a guy actually do what this guy just did here. Okay?
Not in this situation anyways.
Well, not in any situation, really. The only time that you would ever see something like this is if there is another defender behind him.
That's right, yep.
Right?
Or if it's at the goal line and it's a touchdown on the next play anyway.
And even then, he's not going to leap up with one hand and try to bat that ball away. He's going to try and, like you said, he's going to
come and make the sure play.
He's going to try and choose a angle to approach this at where he can possibly get both hands on the ball and maybe intercept it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to do this like ridiculous Hail Mary, jump up and pray that you get one hand on this ball kind of thing. Like, and you know what? He's like 7 yards away from this receiver, right? And I'm pretty sure the only reason that pass came in as low as it did is because that defensive tackle got through there and hit that guy as he was throwing it.
Yep.
Right, which causes the trajectory of the ball to drop. Like it causes the path of the ball to drop more rapidly than normal.
Yeah, and because that's why he only had to jump about that high off the ground, right?
Because if this had been a normal throw without
it's going over his head.
Without the pressure, that's going to go over his head and it'll be a touchdown, right?
Yep.
So yeah, bad game design. Like it almost makes me feel like the people that designed this game actually really didn't know anything about football.
Well, as far as I know, actually, it was a Canadian studio that designed this game.
And this is coming from somebody who like I said, I don't really know all that much about football.
Yeah.
But I know that I would be in deep trouble if I made that kind of play if I were playing this position.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was a Vancouver studio, which might explain, too, why this game is so damn pass-happy. Because, I don't know, maybe they went to a CFL game and they thought it was the same thing.
Maybe they were big BC Lions fans or something, yeah.
Yeah. But, no, like, if you're playing this position, I mean, the easiest thing to do, because you can even see it pre-snap, right? And you can probably, like, as soon as the snap gets, because there's no tight end here either.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So you know what? The first receiver,
the first motion you make is going to be stand on this hash mark.
Yeah,
at the very least.
Because you're probably going to encounter that slot receiver.
And if for some reason that slot receiver goes to make a cut to the outside, then you trade off coverage to this guy and hope that these two can take care of it. And you look for somebody possibly coming up this way.
Well, like your halfback running that circle route. And you know what? If you play it the way that we just said you should play it,
you might give up a 5-yard gain.
Chances are that halfback is going to be wide open for that short pass over the middle. But that is certainly better than letting that guy get 7 yards behind you.
And he's a slot receiver, and there's nobody within 5 yards of him. This is a touchdown.
Yep, that's right. If he catches that, it's a touchdown. So, like just bad, this is bad game design, right? That being said, if I'm backed up to my own 5-yard line and I see a play like this, well, I might shake my head a little bit, but the fact is, if that pass goes over his head, it's probably going to go out the back of the end zone too.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's that. So, and then there's also the idea that if somehow it manages to stay in the end zone, it's a touchdown anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
But in the middle of the field here, which is where we're actually testing this play, no. It was a terrible idea.
Yeah. But anyway, that's why I say that particular animation should not be in this game. It doesn't belong.
It causes you early aging and blood pressure spikes.
Well, the thing is that, like I said, if you watch a football game, I defy you to see more than maybe one or two examples of that particular type of play in an entire season.
Yeah.
Right? Like most of the time when you see defensive backs defending a pass,
he's going to come over here.
They will even, when they close to within touching distance of that receiver, they'll even like rest one hand on the guy's back or something to keep track of where he is, even while they're looking back toward where the ball's coming from.
Well, and again, like this guy isn't just going to drop back and stand here either. He's actually going to, like, as soon as this play starts, he's going to be looking around, seeing who's likely to come and enter my zone. And then you see it all the time. Like, these guys, they're always facing, like, sideways. They're side shuffling in real life, right?
Yeah.
All the time, looking to pick one side or the other.
Yeah.
And in this situation, because there's the only receiver that is likely to immediately hit his zone right off the bat is this guy. Yeah, you could probably have this guy drag over and underneath. Yeah, you could have the halfback run a circle. But the most immediate threat to him immediately, even without knowing to play, you'd probably want to bias to the side that has the slot receiver anyways. You'd stand over here, and then you'd figure out what else is going on next.
Yeah.
Right? And you can even tell that the receiver is going to enter your zone anyways, because he makes a break right at the line too. So
yeah, that's right.
That's the guy he when he starts the play, he should be starting the play with this point of view. He's like, okay, there's that guy over there, and he just took a break in my direction, right? Look at that. There's a break. There's a break in my direction. I can read his number.
And that double shuffle step forward there, you know what that is? That reminds me of the old saying, look busy because God is watching, right? He's looking busy so that a person playing this game will not go, wow, that guy just stood there in the middle of his zone and did nothing.
Well, even if he shuffles step forward a little bit, let's say he's not paying the closest attention, or he has a lapse in concentration. He shuffle steps forward. Okay, well, at this point, he's still alert enough, right? He's still, a football player, a professional football player. He should still know, oh shit, this is a situation with a slot receiver breaking into the middle. I need to walk over to this hash mark. Yeah. And he's going to, even if he makes this kind of movement and kind of fucks up a little bit, he's still got time to recover. He can still get over to this hash mark.
All it takes is 2 steps to his left, right?
Maybe 3, but, same difference, right? And then he comes over here, and then the quarterback tries to throw it because, he's under pressure and he's trying to get it away really quick while he's getting hit. And, guy takes a couple steps forward, puts his hands on the ball, right?
Yeah.
Or if he feels like this guy's really badly out of position, and if he misses it, he isn't going to be able to recover, then he takes a step onto this hash mark and then lets the ball come in and just slams this guy in the face.
Yeah, well, and you can also see
turns
even
into
from
a hospital
here,
pass.
You can see where this ball is going right from here, right?
Yep.
Like you can see that it's going to come down right about where you have the blue circle.
Yeah, I'm not far off, am I?
No. And yeah, exactly. You know what? I think that apparently this is a problem that still exists to this day, even in Madden 27.
Yep.
And you know what? I think they should have done is, and it might have taken a little bit of extra effort, is when you give a player a zone assignment, you should also be able to give that player limited instructions. Okay. And
well, I don't even think necessarily it needs even to go that far, because like they should be smart enough to just see who is likely to enter their zone first.
That's right. That's right.
All you need is that first component, right? If you even just program it like you have an overload of receivers on one side, so your single zone coverage guy in the middle of the field will bias towards the side where there are multiple wide receivers, because that's the guy who's initially most likely to enter his zone.
But what I was saying though about limited instructions is, in the case of a defensive back playing a zone, you should be able to tell him either defend this physically or use a bit of finesse.
Yeah.
And if you tell him to defend this physically, well, then
he's going to come here and hit that guy.
That turns into a hospital pass right there. Like that guy will be basically a defenseless receiver trying to catch that ball while number 30 lines him up and just belts him one, right?
That's right, yeah.
Or you tell him to play finesse, in which case number 30 will move over with the intention of probably resting one hand lightly on this guy's shoulder or back as he runs down the field with him and tries to use that guy's body language to determine when to turn around and attempt to stick a hand up to bat the ball away.
Yeah, or even if he comes over here before this guy, because this ball is thrown before even if he does the right thing here and he moves on to his hash mark, and this ball is thrown before then.
Yeah, in this particular case, it would be perfectly appropriate for number 33 to turn to his left and go toward where the ball is going. And
he's still got time even right now.
And if it arrives at the same time as number 88 and him, well, then there's a big collision. And if number 88, I believe he's actually a tight end, even though he was running a
slot receiver
route here. But if he's a big, strong guy, then maybe he will hang on to the ball. But at worst case scenario, that's Clark. End. That's a tight end. At worst case scenario, it will be a catch, but the play will more or less end right there.
Yeah, rather than giving up a touchdown. Because Clark is also a fast tight end, too.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it's a little too much to expect them to take in like individual player characteristics into account, but even without taking individual player characteristics into account, this guy should still be standing here.
Yeah, they have all those ratings though, so they should be able to make these players.
Well, here's the funny thing too. Look at this guy. He starts off to go into this way, right? Like he makes a little cut as if he's going to come this way.
Yeah,
and then he slides forward, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to knock this one down."
Yeah, no, that's crazy. And that kind of thing gives me heartburn. I hate it. Anyway, maybe we've bitched about this enough.
Yeah, we bitched about this one for 20 minutes.
So I guess it's probably time to play the game.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was just interesting to see that, how this game is designed and how apparently they have not really made any progress in 20 years.
Well, except in Madden 20, instead of this guy jumping up and knocking down the ball, or Madden 27 or whatever we're on now, instead of this guy jumping up and knocking the ball down, he would actually just stand right here, and then the ball would come in, and the receiver would catch it, and then the receiver would probably run past him for a touchdown.
Yeah. Well, anyway, on with the game.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, and do you want to see who won the position battles?
Sure.
Okay.
Hopefully it's somebody who can step, 3 steps to the left and stand on the hash mark.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but anyway, we have the position battles here. Halfback.
McKenzie.
Yes, according to this, but Gaines did get higher rushing yardage total, so I suspect it was probably their touchdowns, right?
Or the fumble.
Yeah, or the fumble. But you know what? Gaines is my starting guy, okay? And Martin... Again, look at Roberts' rushing total, right? Like he actually had a better preseason running the ball than Martin. I think Martin got
receiving yardage.
Receiving yardage, though. And of course, John Mike Houston holds on to the number 1 wide receiver spot. And by the looks of it, Clement is going to be wide receiver 3, probably. And then we have Lincoln winning the guard position, Simmons winning his position battle, although it looks like Robinson actually statistically had a slightly better preseason than Simmons did. And, of course, Jackson there with 4 pancakes. Now, Williams is not a left end, okay?
No.
So that's going to be a decision
I'm just going to run him at right end anyways.
Oh, you're not going to keep the current star player in there?
No, I'm going to run Holt at left end.
I know, Holt is a left end.
Yeah, well, I'm going to run Holt at left end.
Yeah. And then Greg May, by the looks of it, even though Burton got 5 sacks, Greg May still wins the position battle. I'm not sure on the strength of what. But anyway. And Hicks, of course, wins the position battle for middle linebacker.
I mean, Hicks and Boston, they're more or less interchangeable, and they'll both be on the field.
Hicks, Boston, and Kinney, really, the 3 of them. And Tony Seymour won the right outside linebacker position. So looks like Hanks is going to be cornerback 1
And cornerback 2.
and cornerback 2.
He's going to clone himself. It's going to be his doppelganger out there.
Yeah, some of these position battle things are pretty funny. But anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll actually have to, that Hanks one we'll actually have to fix, because what you'll end up with is a thing where there's like Hanks and then a blank slot with nobody on it.
Yeah.
And then like whoever won the third.
Well, here we go. We're going to set the final positions here. Anyways, so depth chart. Actually, you know what? Have we named team captains yet?
No.
Yeah. Maybe we should do. Oh, looks like that was already randomly done for us.
Well, we done fucked up, so we got who we got.
Yep. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll go to depth chart. Of course, Rec V5X. By the way, we do have a couple of problem children too.
Oh, do we? Is Baker one of them?
Aaron Baker is very unhappy.
Oh, come on, man! You back up like the most like talented football player to ever exist.
Yeah, it looks like they lined up Gaines as the first string halfback anyway here.
Right, like the NFL decided on 1 year they were going to allow the U.S. Army Super Soldier program to enroll a couple of football players into the league.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to change Roberts and Martin around because Martin will prosper much more. And I'm going to put Dustin Green there as the third string fullback.
Okay.
Because we want to get his catching to improve a little bit. And if we throw a few passes to him out of the backfield, that'll work. So Houston, White, Clement, just as I thought, Kennedy, and then Rose. And at tight end, of course, we've got Hudson, McCoy, and Green. And actually, McCoy had the best preseason out of the three of them.
Yep. Yeah, you ended up getting a whole bunch of preseason progression. Yep. I got nothing.
That's right. You got no points at all.
Yeah, literally nobody on the defense.
In spite of the fact that, okay, folks, Rec V5X's defense over the course of 4 preseason games allowed a net of 0 points.
Yeah, because we scored 9.
Because you allowed 3 field goals in 4 games.
Yep.
And you scored a defensive touchdown and a safety.
Yep.
So you allowed 9 points. And your defense also scored 9 points.
Yeah.
That makes a net of 0 points allowed, right?
But it's not like we weren't on the field lots.
No. Well, you know what? Your defense played absolutely superb. The other guy here, Robinson, he is going to be a problem too. So, I don't know, maybe before the trade deadline, we might have to try and do something with those 2 guys, like maybe trade for someone more agreeable or someone we might need,
or take this money and shut up,
or like maybe trade them for a draft pick or something like that, right?
Or hold out and we don't give a shit what happens to you.
Who are that too? Anyway, so looks like I've got the 3 guys at right guard, and so that's how the tackle position. So right now you got Damian Williams, the right end, slotted in at left end.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to put left ends at left end and right ends at right end.
Yeah.
They do actually take a slight ratings penalty even for playing out of position left end versus right end.
Yeah.
It's just not as severe as if it's, say, like left end versus defensive tackle or left end versus linebacker.
Yeah. Yeah, and there you go. You got Alfred Lewis as your starting right end, so... And it looks like defensive tackle, that's pretty much about the way I expected it would turn out.
Yep. And then left outside linebacker, yeah, well, you know, we can let Greg maybe in there. Actually, he's really fast. I didn't think he was that fast.
Yeah, he is that fast. He's got okay acceleration, but he's got good speed.
And, of course, he's like defensive lineman strong.
In fact, I think even though he's only been playing, like, I think this will be his 3rd season, he's got something like 65 sacks.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So he's been getting like a little bit better than 20 sacks a season since he started to play, right?
And I mean, the Hicks Boston thing, that's kind of unfortunate. I guess I don't really care.
Well, I think you should look at their respective abilities and maybe just start the player who's better.
I mean, Boston, I think, is the best out of the 3 of them.
Yeah, well, and Boston can also catch a little bit. better than Hicks anyway.
We're gonna take the thunder away from Hicks. He worked so hard to get here.
It's really up to you. You're the guy in charge. So
nah, we'll leave him in.
All right.
He is a little younger, so maybe if he develops or something, I don't know. He's kind of already developed, but maybe if he develops or something.
Yeah, well, you play a 4 linebacker scheme anyway, so
They'll both see the field.
It's not like they won't both see the field.
And then you got Seymour and Floyd.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really care.
Seymour's got 90 acceleration.
Maybe that'll help him sack someone. Although Floyd's pretty good too.
Seymour has like 17 or 18 sacks.
Well, I think these guys were both failed experiments trying to draft someone who could jump. Maybe you could convert Floyd into a safety at some point if you were to run him through the drill and get his jumping up.
He's a pass rushing outside linebacker.
No, he's a safety.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's a
safety.
He's a pass rushing outside linebacker. For sure.
Look, they actually didn't fuck up our depth chart.
Nope, they didn't.
I thought they were. Sometimes they do, right?
Yeah, Hanks hangs on to the starting position. Right,
man, so Carey has fallen a long way, man.
Yeah, the younger guys haven't forced out the 2 older guys at cornerback just yet, though.
We got Grant Brown starting at free safety.
Yep.
I think his tackling's getting pretty decent now.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
First,
Thomas. Holy shit! Did you see Thomas's tackling?
That's probably what caught your eye for him, right?
Well, what a monster.
Yeah. The only thing being that I think his acceleration and agility are not as good as Brown's.
Yeah, that's whatever. If he can tackle like that, I don't really care. And then we've got Sandman 99, of course. There's never any position battle here, although Perry Doss is also pretty good at tackling.
Yeah, he's another one of those safety backers, right?
Don't you love those safety backers?
Well,
What do you mean? You played on the Crusaders.
I know.
How could you say?
The Crusaders have a pretty strong defense overall, though, right? Like their entire crew is pretty good, especially their defensive line. What I found was when I could get pressure like that all the time at will, the rest of it was easy. Oh, look at this! We're going to start off with playing the Dallas Desperados in week 1.
Well, shit.
And it's a rivalry game.
It's going to be super hard right off the bat. Against the best team in the league.
Yep. So here we go. Signing free agents. There are teams that have to sign free agents.
Yeah, well, there was a surprising number of injuries in the preseason.
Yep. So anyway, I guess this should be an entertaining game, I would think.
Yeah, well, I guess that's why you don't leave your quarterback in to keep throwing the ball after he breaks his finger.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Like, wow. What were they thinking? Okay.
Listen, we're just going to leave Tom in there, okay? He can walk it off.
That was, wasn't that Landon Spence or something?
Yeah.
Right? Like he broke his thumb on it, and it looked like it was on his throwing hand too, right?
Mm-hmm. It was premier quarterback.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll just tape that up. You'll be fine. Wow. But anyway, here we go. There's Marvin Harrison. I remember Marvin Harrison. I actually liked the Colts quite a bit back then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they scored lots of points. They were exciting to watch. They actually had an offense that more closely resembled a CFL team than an NFL team at the time, because Peyton Manning, he liked to throw the ball too, right?
Well, of course, he's Peyton Manning after all.
Yeah. And they had all kinds of stars like Marvin Harrison to catch the ball.
Of the year. Today's matchup looks like it will be a great battle between two very evenly matched teams as the visiting team.
I still think it's notable in this game, though, that one of the things that makes Peyton Manning stand out is he's like the only quarterback out of all of like the stock teams that will actually call audibles on the field.
Yeah. Well, or at least that you can see, right?
Well, with him, it's almost every play, right?
Okay, well, I picked the end to defend, and now I guess we'll just do our audible things, and then we'll be ready to play. Oop, passed it there. So this formation doesn't actually have any pass plays in it. It is a running formation, period. That's because it's fully compatible with several of the other formations that I have in the playbook, though.
Gotcha.
So I can audible to passes out of it if I want to.
Or audible to another run.
Yeah.
And that way you can keep them guessing. Am I running or am I running?
Yeah. Well, am I running inside or am I running outside?
No. Am I running inside or am I running between the guard and the center?
No, this isn't Madden 12. Sorry.
Or maybe I'm taking it up the middle. You never know, right?
Yeah.
We could be running the dive play.
Oh, you're making my head hurt just thinking about that. And that one middle linebacker that we had on our team who could jump like a basketball player and intercept passes all over the place like he was like a star defensive back, right?
Well, it's not even that he was like being super all the time too. Like lots of times they would just throw and hit him right in the numbers like over and over and over again. It's like, come on, he's a linebacker in a man coverage assignment, and in a lot of cases against the fucking slot receiver.
Yeah.
How are you hitting him with the ball? How are you not hitting the slot receiver?
Yeah.
Right? Like, some of these things, man, just...
Well, you know what? I think we've illustrated with a lot of the pre-game, nonsense that we do, where we break down plays and all that kind of stuff. We've really demonstrated that there were a lot of shortcomings in this game.
And this is as good as it gets.
And this is as good as it gets. It's generally believed that Madden 2005 is one of the best games in the entire franchise, right?
Yeah, if y'all don't know where we get that from, that citation, it's random shit on the internet. Forum posts, Reddit posts, shit like that, basically.
Yep.
That's our credible source. So maybe it's not a reputed media outlet or anything, but you know what? Fuck it. It's generally the opinion of what the people say is what matters when it comes to a media art form like this.
Yep.
Of course, that was many years ago now, but really the situation in Madden hasn't improved.
No.
At all.
It looks just, if anything, just as bad. However, the sale to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia hasn't gone through yet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, it's still in the process, right?
Ah.
And so...
We'll have to see once he gets control
We'll
of
have to
things.
see once he gets control of it. Maybe he'll pound his fist on the table and demand that EA makes a decent football game.
Yes. So if you're listening to us, Saudi Crown Prince, I know we're a bunch of peasants over here. We're not even part of your nation, but please make us a good football game and take Madden 05 as an example. Give us play creation, give us custom teams, and all the other things that we had back in 04.
Also, intelligent play, right? Intelligent player play.
Or at least as intelligent as Madden 05. I mean, oh my god, things are so bad now.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, they could have improved on Madden 05, too, right?
Well, you could even say, too, like, back in Madden 05 days, they were using a computer processor that had its frequency measured in megahertz, and they were using systems that measured their the amount of memory they had in under 64 megs. Right? Like, they had, like, megabytes of RAM.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's like, okay, I can kind of understand that there could be technical limitations there to the AI, but there shouldn't be now. So, yes, Crown Prince, whoever you are who bought this, I'm sorry I don't know your name. You know what? I'm a filthy peasant, so who cares? Make us a good game. Make us another Madden 05. Give us create a play. Give us create a playbook. Let us draw our own plays in the creative play. Give us custom teams. Give us custom franchises like what we have in this one. And give us a defensive AI that is at least this good. Even though this defensive AI is bad, it's still as good as it ever got in the series.
That's right.
Hey, he'll probably never hear that, but you never know.
No, but
this is the internet.
Yeah, and that would be at least a starting building block of where you could go with it, right?
Yeah, like literally, man, if you think about it, like Mr. Crown Prince out there, you have the opportunity, if you cared to make the best football game ever. You have like a massive, like giant sports franchise company that has like the official the official NFL branding and everything. You could invest everything possible to making the best football game that we've ever had, right? And you could still make money doing it. Because people still buy Madden every year, and you could give them a reason to buy Madden every year.
Yeah, because every year you could make a small improvement. If you went back and used Madden 05 as a starting point, well then the things that you would do is, say, year 2 is maybe, give players some form of individual intelligence.
Yeah, you could, at the very least, you could fix.
That would make safeties, for example, in one deep zone setups, play their positions better, right?
Yeah, like what we were talking about at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
And at the very least, too, you could fix a major issue with the defensive play or the offensive play every single year and still make the game markedly better year over year. Like if you fixed offensive line blocking one year, and then you could fix defensive pass coverage in another year, and then you could create a play in another year, and then you could add, custom franchises in another year. Like you could make significant improvements to the game, and then just don't ever throw it away once the next console generation comes out, because that seems to be what happens. Is they make a bunch of progress again, and then the next console generation comes out, and then they throw everything away again, and then 10 years, 5 years later, they introduce it all as new features when it's shit that we had like 15 years ago.
That's right.
Or in this case, 20 years ago. 20 years ago we had these things.
Dropping back.
Right, because this game, Madden 05, was released in 2004, right? So this is from 2004. This is what we had in 2004.
Yep, and we still had, fully custom stadiums with all kinds of options.
In terms of customization and stuff,
we were able to create an entire fictional league.
And a unique stadium for everyone.
With a unique stadium for every single team, right?
And unique jerseys for every single team.
That's right. The last Madden game I got was Madden 2011, like Madden 11.
Yep.
And the first thing I did was I figured, well, you know what, I'm going to create my own custom team, right? Because that's one of the things that I really like. And you know how many logos I had to choose from?
How many?
8.
You know how many you have in this game? You have hundreds.
That's right. There are literally hundreds of unique logos in this game to choose from.
And yeah, okay, maybe, out of those hundreds, you have the entire Latin alphabet, but you know what? There are teams out there that use a letter as their logo, so why the hell not?
Well, even logos like, what we've got on all our teams here, there's enough there to create like 200 unique teams. And every team could have a different logo.
Yep. And when they talk about like big video game budgets and things where like these video games are getting like $100 million budgets now and other crazy shit like that, I'm pretty sure it didn't cost anywhere near that to put 200 2D logos in a game.
No.
Right? Especially when, at least 20 some odd of them are the Latin alphabet. And I'm not saying, again, there's nothing wrong with having the Latin alphabet as your logo either, right? Like, if it works for a logo, it works for a logo. Right? The first team I ever made in these games used the letter D as the logo.
Yep.
Right? Because I made a team called the Dark Side, and they had the D as the logo. Because D for Dark Side.
Kaufman scans the defense from the gun. With the throw.
Ooh, look at that, eh?
Yep.
So far, I know we've been doing an awful lot of casual talking and all that kind of stuff, but so far this game has gone pretty much all our way.
Yeah, you looked like you had a pretty easy time moving the ball against them on your last drive.
Well, I ran the ball a few times, and I threw a couple of short, quick passes toward the outside. They're playing man lock, right?
There's not going to be any punt returns, though.
No. They're playing man lock, so I mean it's not really very difficult to pass against them, right, when they're doing this.
I mean, I think if you're going to play man lock, you either have to take one of two things. You have to back everyone off and give up the 5-yard pass, or you have to press everyone down and apply pressure. Wow, that's White.
Yep.
I'm surprised that defensive back could even keep up with him, considering that...
You know why? Because I was throwing that to the short side of the field. Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't have the room to run away from him after the catch.
Because White has 99 speed.
But look at this. I've got, we're barely halfway into the first quarter.
And because they've got 10 guys on the line here,
and I've already got over 60 yards passing, right?
Yeah, well, they shouldn't have 10 guys on the line here. No. Especially because you've done nothing but throw the ball against them pretty much.
Well, anytime I see an alignment like that, the first thing I'm going to do is audible to a pass, right? I mean, I'd like to be able to run the ball, but quite frankly, they don't usually show me the right kind of alignment that I can run the ball against.
Well, that's okay. If they keep up this pace, you'll be able to go full chuck in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Because you'll have like 21 points by the second quarter.
Well, I pounded it in for a first down there.
They did a good job of knocking those guys off the line of scrimmage.
Within scoring distance. Hudson, the motion man.
Yes. Yes. Well, I guess he got blocked that time anyways. Somehow somebody actually blocked that guy who was in the nickel position, but it was still useful for you to do that anyways because there was nobody for Hudson to block either way.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
somehow they crossed over.
Yeah, they crossed over, so number 79 picked up the left outside linebacker, and Hudson picked up the middle linebacker instead.
Yeah, normally 79 there would drop.
And the right tackle does a great job on that defensive end. Look at that.
Yep.
Right. So there you go. That was a good, solid run play. Well executed by everyone.
Number 6 sends a man in motion.
Well, if Martin catches this, it's probably a touchdown.
Gets rid of it. Great pass. Number 6 has now thrown for 2 touchdowns.
And that's why Martin is fullback 2, because fullback 2 out of the 3 running back formations that I have catches the majority of the passes.
Benson comes in to attempt the point after.
Because I'm either throwing to him or I'm throwing a deep ball to a wide receiver.
Yep.
And it's up. The point after is good. It now scores 14 unanswered points.
I'm starting to get to the point, the idea that I think we're going to blow these guys out.
Like I said, if you keep going at this rate, you're going to hit 21 points before the second quarter.
Yeah.
He got all of that one.
And it looks like they still have more than enough depth, so they don't have an excuse for...
Yeah, well, they've got 96 rated overall offense and defense, but that's the thing, though, right? If you start with this game, again, as your basic building block, I think the first thing you need to do in the second year is you need to improve the defensive AI, right? You need to give the defense the ability to learn from mistakes, right? And if they do things like crowd the line or man lock a lot and the offense starts ripping them apart, well, then they need to be able to change tactics, so that they don't end up giving up. Wow, look at that. so they don't end up giving up, 60 points in a game, right?
Yeah, well, and it could just be as simple as we're not going to crowd the line anymore.
Yeah, well, or play the 2 safeties back in deep zones, or maybe even play like a 3 deep zone or something like that more often, right?
Well, you know what? Like, I'm gonna say this: Madden is like a multi-million-dollar company at the least. Like EA is a multi-billion-dollar company, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But Madden's a multi-million-dollar franchise, I guess, at the very least. You know, go online and go to your online store and pick yourself up a used IBM PC and an old copy of Playmaker Football on floppy disk.
That's right.
And,
because that's another thing I remember you mentioning about how, remember on the 2 deep zone thing, it's like when they play a 1 deep zone, they only seem to make the zone the same size as the zones in the 2 deep zone would be. Well, in Playmaker Football, you could actually draw how big or small the zones would be that your players would be playing.
Well, not only that, but go and buy yourself a copy of Playmaker Football and take a look at how they judge success versus failure of every single play, right? Because every play has like we'll increase this by 2 points if it succeeds, but we'll decrease it by 5 points if it fails, and then we run plays on their frequency based on how many points they've gained or lost during that time. And you could even set the success and failure criteria, like this play is a success if it gains 5 yards, but it's a failure if it gains less than 5 yards.
That's right. Well, and also you could even set the frequency of sampling too, right?
Yep.
So you could say, I want you to sample this particular play every 3 times that it's run.
Yeah, because it might not work the first time, but it might work the second or the third time.
Yeah.
Have much room to do anything with that one.
Yeah, they had the coverage, and they made the sure play instead of trying something fancy.
So considering how primitive computers were back in that day and age, that was actually a remarkably sophisticated game.
Yeah, it was an intelligently designed system for play calling. And a reasonable one, a reasonable approximation of adaptive coaching on the field.
Yeah.
And you can even see the AI teams do it in that game because they all do their play calling the exact same way.
Looking for a receiver.
Right, using that points-based system to adjust things. And then they also had a time-sensitive part of that too, where if you're behind by a certain amount and there's this much time in the clock, you start to call from this subset of plays.
Yeah, you could actually create a whole subset of plays, and a lot of the AI teams, they would have their basic set of plays, and then they would have a group of those plays that were basically duplicates, but would have in brackets 2 minutes in front of them or something to designate which plays they would prefer to call when they're trying to move the ball quickly.
Yeah, I think you could also weight plays based on like time left, or you could even weight plays based on like you have the lead or you don't have the lead too.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
you could do all of those things. Not only that, but like I was saying, when you drew a zone, let's say you were going to play a 1 deep zone with a safety.
You could make it the entire field.
You could make that zone the width of the entire field.
And then he would actually break towards the...
he would go toward the first person to enter his zone, right?
Which is how it should be played.
And the thing is that you could also start that zone 15 yards off the line of scrimmage or 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. You could start that zone as deep or as shallow as you wanted.
Yeah, and extend it as deep or as shallow as you want.
Yeah, exactly. You could extend it until it would go the entire length of the field if you wanted to.
Yep.
I think that we're bringing that safety on a blitz because he got there awfully quickly considering how far back he started.
And so I'm not going to say that'll help with make the AI perfect, but if you wanted to help with play calling AI and make the play calling better in these games, just go and take a look at what Playmaker Football was doing on the floppy disk on the IBM PC back in the day.
Yeah, and you know what? If they were capable of doing it with that primitive a computer setup, you should be able to have something similar to that for this game, even, for example.
Yo, you yourself, you had a 286 that you ran that on, right?
That's right. When I first bought that game, I had an old 286.
Surveying the field with the throw.
Oh, he dropped it.
That looks like it might have been overthrown, actually, but he made a brave attempt at trying to keep that one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know.
Pressure up the middle. When you combine their play with the fact that the defensive coordinator likes to bring additional blitzers from the outside, it could make for a very long day for the quarterback.
Anderson comes in motion. Looking for a receiver. Throws on the move. And this pass
Sneaking it in there.
Yep, that hook out.
Yeah, it looks like he got an arm in there, but he just wasn't successful in batting it away.
Yeah.
So you can see he
Yeah, he
swats at
tried.
it.
He tried. Yeah.
He just missed that time.
Well, the funny thing is, and I missed it in the when we were talking about breaking down the play at the beginning of the game here, but the outside defenders seem to play better than the guys in the middle of the field, right? But yeah, I mean, basically the way that this play was designed, it kind of worked exactly the way it was designed and intended. But yeah, that guy did make a good try.
Yeah, his timing was just a bit off.
But the thing is, though, that kind of thing,
it's what you'd rather see more often.
Yeah.
Looks like he's calling an audible. Calling an audible.
It's going to be the Charles Martin show today, or what?
I guess so.
Handed off to the fullback.
Now, this is exactly how to get the ball.
And he squeezes in there, and nobody can touch him.
And keep pushing and pushing until they're putting up 6
He's got a receiving touchdown. He's also got a rushing touchdown.
Charles Martin, player of the game?
Probably, if this keeps up. I mean, if he scores 4 touchdowns in this game, he'd be a good candidate for it, wouldn't he?
And it's on its way, and he tacks on the extra point.
What I'm hoping is that eventually these guys will find the merciless passing attack to be intolerable, and they'll start to back off a little bit. And then I'll be able to run the ball and like eat up some time off the clock, right?
Yep.
Because here, I mean, I'm scoring so quickly that you've probably spent more time on the field than I have in this game so far.
Well, maybe.
Because I found that, like, I'm going through their defense like it's not even there, right? Like, it's just too easy. I think the expression is shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like shooting fish in a barrel, right?
Yeah.
That's what had enough life in it to get down there for the first down.
So we have 1st and 10 here.
And if you look there, I've already got over 100 yards passing, and we're barely into the second quarter here.
Pressure coming with the pass.
Oh!
There, see that? He made that leaping swipe.
Yeah. He should have just kept running with the guy.
No, if you look at the replay of that, I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about before this game started, right?
Yeah. Although thankfully we've got the safety over there.
Yeah.
Right?
But still, I mean, you know what? You don't play this way. You don't. Right? You stay running with him and you stick.
Well, especially because look at how close they are. This guy has not outrun him, or by any means.
No,
There's no reason to play it this way.
Yeah, what you do is you stick with him, and maybe you rest your left hand on top of his left shoulder pad there, and then reach around him with your right arm and try and bat the ball away.
Or here's a better one: instead of doing this, you just shuffle beside him and then try to stick your arm in there.
You continue to maintain proper position.
Yeah, and then if it does get past you, then you try to drag him down by his back leg, and if you do manage to get him by his back leg and he escapes you, that buys this guy more time to come over here and actually make the tackle.
Yeah, but anyway, that's what I meant, though, is if I had the programming skills and access to the source code for this game, I would purge that particular animation from the game. It would no longer be in the game at all. Then the AI would have to choose some other course of action.
Yeah.
Right?
I think there he just hit the fullback in the side of the head with that. I think that was a little off target.
Stabler lines up behind his fullback in the eye. Seymour pulls him down at the 40. They ran it there.
Yeah.
You know, like that leaping one hand in the air animation, like that has no place in this game because, like I said, maybe somebody might have done that once during the 2004 football season, but you can bet that that doesn't happen on a regular basis.
Yeah, you
not
see a
that
lot
way.
more of this. Look at this. This is fantastic. Because Greg May's not a fast guy. In fact, he's probably a lot slower than Abrams there, who's probably some kind of receiving
maybe
tight
not
end.
a lot slower. He does have 80 speed.
But this, look at this.
But yeah, this is the kind of thing that players should be doing when they're playing pass defense.
Right, he just sticks his hand up and he goes like that.
Well, and runs with the guy. And you know what? If he misses that swipe at the ball, he's at least still in a position where he can attempt to tackle.
Yeah, and in fact, he's already falling on the guy anyways. And yeah, you know, it's an older game, so it looks a little jank, but, you know, who really cares as long as, like, football is respected on the field, right? Like, it looks like football. It's something you could reasonably expect in a football game.
Yeah.
I don't really care if his arm clips through the guy's leg.
Well, you see...
In that situation, you'd expect a play like that. You know, the guy reaches up, swats the ball down, and then makes the tackle after, or kind of falls over him, or they fall over each other, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to look perfect as long as it's fundamentally solid. I mean, that play could have gone the other way too, right? He goes to put his hand up and he misses it, right?
Yeah.
Because his timing's off, and then the guy in front of him catches it and he drags him down from behind.
Yeah. And this is another thing that should not happen, right?
People are going to be like, man, you guys are in like bitter bitchy mode today.
Well, no, not really. I mean, you know what? It's just something that should not happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Because professional football players know how to run block, right?
Yeah, they don't just let people through.
Number 6 with a man in motion.
I guess we can just say maybe there was a dispute in the locker room today.
Huh.
Although it seems like there's been a dispute in the locker room for every game we've ever played.
Throwing. He hits his receiver. 2 to 20.
So I'll throw for a 20-yard gain
Yeah, well,
after
looks
that,
like you
right?
had a linebacker covering Clement there.
Yeah.
Big gain first down.
You got that right. That pass was thrown with some great velocity.
And linebacker wide receiver is a terrible matchup.
Well, and Clement is basically one of those John Mike Houston Mark II type of situations too, right?
Yeah, the well-balanced receiver who can do a little of everything.
Yep. Well, he's got decent speed. He's got decent hands.
Drops back. Gets the pass off.
Ooh, they had a flat zone out there.
I kind of forced that in a little bit, but that's okay.
37. He was on the receiving end of that goal.
Yeah, well, maybe that guy didn't play his flat zone in the most clean fashion, but he was out where he needed to be at least.
Yep. Well, they limited the game, right? But then again, though, if I had taken the time, I probably could have thrown a deep pass on that play too, right? Because when they play, man flats like that, then they've only got one deep, probably.
With the pass, perfect throw. He shakes it.
Look at Martin running people over.
Martin is having a good game today, catching passes.
This guy's just like a gunslinger.
Do that, he's got 54 yards receiving already.
Wow.
And look at this. You know that old expression, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result?
Yeah, well, I guess that would be this, right?
Yep.
Drops back with the throw.
Because I can just stand back in the pocket and just continue to throw those, and I'm tearing off ridiculous gains on what is basically a 2.5-yard square out.
Yeah, well, who is that? That's another linebacker covering him, and then there's a defensive end running backwards to make the tackle? The only reason that defensive end's even in it on the play is because he's an all Madden defensive end, so he probably has like 99 speed.
Yep.
They have a big lead, and they're on the move again inside the 20.
I mean, at least they've got two safeties back this time, but still.
They're still giving up the wide side of the field.
Yep.
Pass play here on first down. Gets the pass off. He's inside the 10. And he's forced out of.
But that's okay, we've got some rigged officiating, so they're not going to give you the touchdown there.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure his arm crossed the line.
It probably did. Look at that. He's got 66 yards receiving in this game.
Wow.
Directing traffic.
We're killing him in there, out there, right?
Yeah, well, you're not far off expectations.
Roll back handoff.
Well, the thing is that they want to play tough against the run, and they want to line up like 10 and 11 guys on the line and all that kind of stuff.
You're not exactly known for your rushing attack.
And I'm not exactly known for my rushing attack, but, you know, if you play that way on defense, I will rip you a new one through the air. Which is exactly what's happening in this game. I'm just tearing them a new asshole right now, right?
Yep.
And it's up. And he picks on the extra point.
And they're not adjusting their play. You know, if I'm playing playmaker football right now, at least the defense would be adjusting their play to try and find something that would work.
Yeah, they'd start calling more and more pass-oriented defenses.
He gets the kick away.
Oh, well, I just kicked one out of bounds.
This kick goes out of bounds. And there's
Making things hard on me now, huh?
Yeah. But that was the cool thing about playmaker football is you could literally draw every assignment down to the last tiny little detail for every player on the field. So if I wanted to design a kickoff play even, I could not only tell the kicker which direction to kick the ball, but I could assign every single player on that kickoff coverage play a specific pattern, you know, to cover the kick depending on where it got kicked to, right? You gotta turn auto strafe off again.
I'm just gonna check to see if it's even on. It didn't affect the result of that play. Wrong thing. Custom game?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it is on.
It's
yeah.
back on. You know what? I don't think we can get it to stay off.
Actually, I have a theory about this. I think if we were to set it at the main screen before entering the game, then it would stay.
Okay, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
throws it. And
That was going to be out of bounds anyway.
Yeah, that was going to be out of bounds anyway. He had 1 foot clearly out before the ball even got to him.
Yeah, and that was to the far side of the field. What was the quarterback doing, waiting so long to throw that one?
I don't know.
only one man in the backfield.
Everybody's a critic, right?
Well, when I throw that kind of pass, I basically watch the receiver and try and time it so that I throw it as soon as he makes his cut, right?
Yep.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Only one man back. Dropped in the backfield for a short.
Well, if we hadn't had somebody there, I would have been there.
Yeah. Well, thing is, though, again, it's like I talked about before. You have these wide formations with an outside linebacker standing way out wide on either side. And more often than not, those are the guys that stuff the run because nobody blocks them, right?
I think we just got a team tackle on the quarterback there.
Yeah. A little bit of a late hit.
Well, I mean, his arm was still cocked, so I think it's fine.
Up closer to the line of scrimmage to get in better position for a run. Abrams, the man in motion. Again with a carry.
How do you screw that up? I don't know how he.
He turned outside instead of just trying to plow straight ahead.
Oh, look, they're gonna go on 4th down now.
He should have tried to plow straight ahead. Is what he should have done.
Probably, yeah. That's what I would have done.
That's what I would have done.
I would have just hit the ball cover button and pressed straight ahead and try and barge right up the middle.
Since they don't need much for the first, they'll eschew the field goal attempt.
Oh,
well, he made it.
Oh, we're gonna. Oh, wait, no,
no penalty, but
I thought we were gonna get a face mask there. I really thought we were gonna get a face mask there.
If the defense keeps giving up runs like that,
I thought they were going to pass, actually, because that's what they almost always do in those situations, right?
The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. But the throw just can't.
Throwing it away before the pressure can get to him.
Yeah, well, they completed a pass like that looked almost exactly like that just a few plays ago, right? It's just that this time, because the coverage was already there, this time, I guess the coverage won the dice roll instead of the other way around, right?
Alford makes the tackle at the 19, 8-yard gain.
Well, we had Alford coming in there, making the tackle from behind.
Yep. Well, you still had the free safety there, Brown. He was unblocked, so he could have prevented the touchdown, but...
Presses its secondary up to be better prepared to stop the run.
Yeah, sure, that's what we're doing. Oh, I got him. I just couldn't hold him.
He gets just
Yep.
barely enough for the first.
I hit
Well-
him behind the line of scrimmage, but he's just too strong.
Well, that's probably Stabler, right? And he is.
Yeah, he's an absolutely legendary running back, basically.
Yeah.
The backs are lined up in an eye. With the pass, he hits his receiver.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're doing everything we can. We've got the guy in the zone over the middle and everything else.
Yeah, he's got some of the best hands in the league. He'll catch just about
Yeah, it's just that for some reason, even though nothing worked for them up to this point in the game, suddenly everything they try works, right?
Really shines out there.
4 more yards to finish off the drive with a touchdown. Stabler, the lone back. Stabler. Great rushing.
I even had more guys on that side rushing than on the other side, and we just
Yeah.
couldn't close it up.
Nobody was going to keep him from scoring.
That's okay. The way this game's been going,
Oh, well.
I'll probably score again before the half anyway.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not a big deal if I give up a touchdown. You know, they tend to have this, like, burst of life to them at the end of a half anyways.
Yeah. Well,
And these guys are the best team in the league, stats-wise.
The visiting team are able to move a little closer.
So I don't feel
The
too bad
visiting
about it.
team are ready to
If I
kick
can
this
hold
one
them to,
off.
like, less than 14 points, or even just 14 points, I think I'll be happy.
From the 6 to the 20.
well, in most cases, I mean, I know that the defensive results that we get tend to be super normal. In most cases, if you can hold the opposition to less than 20 points, you're going to win a lot more games than you lose anyway, right?
Yeah. And I mean, they certainly haven't held us to that, so if we could even hold them to 21 points, we'd win this game still.
Directing traffic.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't score ever again.
Number 6 with a man in motion. Pass play here on first down. Under pressure with the pass.
Oh my god.
Wow, everybody's getting big gains through the air.
They move the
You're
stick.
shredding them.
I
Yep.
tell you, he put that one right on the money. They're just out there playing a little pitch and catch.
That's like a 20-plus yard gain for Hudson there. But you saw I came out fully intending to run the ball, right?
Yeah, and then they never let you. I mean, you might, no, I spoke too soon.
Changing the play now.
They're probably not going to cover Roberts, or not well.
Rolling out to his left. And the catch
Well, you know
is
what?
made.
I've got that.
Yeah,
now.
that's true. You've
Ever
got the
since
hook
I
out.
ever since I invented this hook out, this is the curls play, but where you use those wheel routes.
Yep. Which
Well-
almost never come open.
Which almost never come open. Look at this. See, I even have a variant of it to this side too.
Yep.
Right. Although on the short side of the field, I can't. You know, and with the 3 receivers, I can't move that guy in one because otherwise he'll interfere with that guy's route.
Yep.
Which is why I just have him run straight up the field. But this hook out here, I can throw this
Yep.
all day long, right? If they're not bringing pressure.
Back to the field. Almost at the 2-minute mark now. Looks like he's calling an audible.
I guess I don't really have to run this play. But I will anyway.
To carry it. Right with the stop at the 34-yard line.
There. I got some rushing yards, so there.
Well, it looked like it set up good for it anyways. When it sets up, and you just got to take those times.
Yep.
To get to the 28 to convert for the first down. Roberts moves in motion. Receives the handoff. Holt
Nice.
runs him down at the 26. And that gain will get them a fresh set of downs.
He just exploded towards the marker that time. That was a big-time run.
Yeah, pretty sure unless I get a turnover or something like that here, I'll score before the half here. We'll just run a little time off here, just in case something goes wrong.
hit hard on that throw.
Yeah, you talk about your depleter. That's what happened there. He unloaded and he got a depleter.
How interesting. They're letting you run the clock.
Plan that he discussed with us this week.
Yep, they
he's
are.
The type of coach that think being more physical
Oh,
than
come
the other
on, you
team
guys.
is the key
Really?
to winning the game.
Really?
Those guys running hard and hitting hard. Thinking that they'll
Look at
have
that
more
single
gas
coverage
left in
on
the
White.
tank when the fourth quarter rolls around.
And I've got Max Protect in there. Right?
Is it at least a defensive back on White, or is it a linebacker?
Can't tell from the number here. It's probably a defensive back. It's probably a safety.
Looking downfield to the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
Incomplete pass. What a
Couldn't
play
get
by
the
quarterback to get
pass to
that
go
back.
outside.
He really had
Well,
good
that's okay.
position on the
It was worth a
receiver
shot,
without
right?
interference.
And this is the seventh play of this drive. Nickelback in this time. Gaines moves in motion.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Why is Gaines the third down running back here?
Oh, because the depth chart got reshuffled.
Looking for a receiver. Gets the pass off.
Oh,
Scripted overthrow. No, that's okay. Yeah, the depth chart got reshuffled, so we'll have to make some modifications again and put our third down running back that we want in there back in. It's probably McKenzie. You made that, though. We got more points.
Yep.
Boy, he really got into that one, easily clearing the cross court. The home team are set to kick it deep.
And if I play cautious here, they won't move down the field in 23 seconds.
Oh, you know what happened before they scored that touchdown? I kicked the kickoff out of bounds.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's partly on me.
You gave them the momentum.
I gave them the momentum, yep. Or maybe the AI gave them the momentum because I kick the ball the same way pretty well every time, but the kick meter does not move at the same speed all the time, right? And I'm pretty sure it's designed in such a way as to try and handcuff you when you at certain moments.
Well, are they just going to run the clock?
It looks like they're just going to run the clock out here, probably. But that's the thing, though, right? Instead of making this game so that the AI plays a better game, they did like cheap things like that, right?
Yeah.
In order to try and give the impression that they're being competitive, right?
Well, shall we take the halftime stretch?
Yeah, I think it's time for the halftime stretch.
And we're back.
Yes, and in the first half, I threw for 238 yards, so I'm well on my way to a possible 500-yard passing game.
My
here,
God.
if this keeps up. As you can see, and I managed to run for 41 yards. I did maintain a time of possession advantage, but it's not as lopsided as it would be if I was able to actually run the ball consistently, right?
We had them all lined up, looking for the knockout. We just missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's because I was in a different animation, John. That's why he missed.
Yeah. But anyway, that being said, I did run the ball 15 times and made against 20 pass attempts. So, you know, like it's not like I don't want to.
Yeah, they just won't let you.
Gaines comes in motion. Drops back. Gets the pass.
This looks familiar.
Yeah, wow.
Once again, makes it happen while on the move.
He's one of those guys who
Oh,
doesn't lose his
boy.
accuracy or touch when he decides to throw it.
See, they don't learn, right? They don't learn from what happens to them on the field.
Open up, you'll get it out of there pretty quickly.
I think Desperado's going to have a bad season this year.
Great job throwing on.
Well, the thing is, though, when you look at them in a simulation type of situation, they're going to do just fine, right? Like, they're going to dominate every team they're matched up against.
Because it's all based on ratings and not based on historic play records.
That's right.
Berger with the stop at midfield. Martin with the reception and a 5-yard gain.
I mean, maybe some of that comes into play. I don't know, like maybe your average points against and your average eventually comes into play, but I don't think it makes a significant enough difference compared to ratings.
No.
Didn't have much to work with on that running play.
Oh, that guy just beat the guy who was blocking him like a rented mule there.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
They are all Madden defenders, of course.
To keep him off balance.
Yep.
While trying to draw him offside.
They come out of the nickel. Houston comes in motion. Throws it, and this pass is completed.
Damn.
That looked awfully close, but
I don't know, that one was hard to tell because I think he was standing like right on the line. So that one's 50-50 as to where they spot it, even if you challenge it.
I'm not going to bother wasting a challenge when we lead with this kind of lead anyway right now.
Not much hang time on this one. Fair catch called for.
Yeah, well, pooch punts are easier than kickoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I have yet to accidentally kick a pooch punt out of bounds.
First and 10. They're having no success running on first down.
Which is one reason why they find
Holding.
themselves on the short end of the stick right now. It's hard
Well,
to
there
have
you go.
consistent success
No.
without that.
No? You're happy with 2nd and 11?
Yeah, that's still a run for a loss, so I think it's better not to be greedy and to see if we can stop them for less than 10 yards in 2 plays.
Gets the pass off.
Oh,
Well, he did drop it, though.
drops the hot potato pass.
Yeah, I can't believe he dropped that, though, because he's an all-Madden player.
Every now
Yeah.
and then he'll let one bounce off his hands like that, but most of the time you can rely on him to make the catch when you really need it.
Hoffman starts out of the shotgun.
So you could say in this situation, why are you rushing from the fullback side? It's like, well, the fullback has 90 speed, so
Yeah.
he can run flat routes upfield just as good as the halfback can.
Well, the thing is, I wasn't questioning you on that at all. I mean, half the time they leave the halfback in to block too, right? And they do it on the side that you're pass rushing on so much that I think they probably read your play input. Wow, look at this.
Yeah, I'm trying to get downfield so that I can follow that guy, because that looked like it was going to be a bit of a mess.
Yeah. You know, like, I think they read your play inputs anyway.
At least to a certain degree, yeah.
So, because how do they always know which side to block from when you line up in a symmetrical formation? And you could be coming from either direction, right?
Drops back, throwing.
Whoa, okay.
Well, he hot potatoed that one out of there because your inside linebacker there got through real quick.
Yeah.
So much velocity on it that the receiver never caught up with it.
Or maybe it was a defensive end. I think it was Holt that got slipped through the gap there.
The home team presses its secondary up to be better prepared to stop the run. He can't wrap him up. Gets away. Brown takes
Well,
him
that's
down
why we have
at
2
the
safeties back
44.
there and not just one.
Third
Yep.
down conversion.
I'll tell you, this time they went to the ground, but it doesn't seem to matter what they're calling out there. When it gets to 3rd down, it's about to be 1st down.
Rushing on first down has not worked out for them today.
Now they're going to start working you on the run play here.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, too, is I'm starting to feel like it's a 3-3-5 situation.
Watch here. He just barrels into the defense.
That's what I'm starting to feel like.
Right off
Yeah.
the turf.
I think they got an offensive lineman down there on Brown in that play too, right?
Well, I also feel like this is one of those, you know how I told you that there's like these games occasionally where they seem to adapt to the system but not to the play type?
Yeah.
It's just to the system, so I've been calling a lot of 4-man line sets recently, and they're starting to like do well, even no matter what I call. So I'm going to switch over to the 3-man line system here, and we'll see if they continue to do well.
We'll go back to the play on the field. Abrams comes in motion. him down at the 41. John, nothing there on that play. Looks like he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, if anything, too, it puts some fresh legs on the field, too, right?
That back just didn't have any help from his line on that play.
McGee, the motion man. Looking downfield, closing in, all kinds of time. Gets rid of it, dives, and makes the tackle. Hoffman showing you his powerful throwing arm on that pass.
Not only does this guy have a strong arm, but his quick release makes him very tough to sack.
In field goal range now.
We'll try this.
Coverage on the outside.
We'll try this.
Key series here as they're in the red zone trying to stay in the game. Alford makes the play at the 16. They're going to keep testing this rushing defense.
The guy seems to get stronger every time he touches the ball.
Well, I'm not too worried because you know what? You're still making them take plenty of time.
First down marker is just inside the 9. Stabler, the lone setback. And he gets the delayed handoff. Dives and brings him down. Good game for the offense here in the second.
This is one of those guys who seems to play better as the game goes on. The more he gets the ball, the better he does. I'd expect to see him get quite a few touches here as the game winds down.
I think the big question is here, are they going to run the ball or are they going to get cute and try and fool you with a pass, right?
Any kind of a run. Stabler, the lone back. Pressure, works one into the end zone.
Yep.
Ooh, almost threw up an interception there.
Yep, almost.
Now, I don't mind when they do that when it's like, you know, touchdown or nothing, though, right?
Yeah, but if you look at the replay of this, though, that guy played that totally differently, too.
He did,
didn't,
yeah.
He didn't do that Hail Mary, jump up in the air, wave a hand. You know what I mean? Like, he did what you said.
Yeah, he just moved sideways and then tried to jump in front of it, just like this.
He stuck his hands in where the ball was going along with the receiver, and it was basically a competition between him and the receiver to see who would come up with the ball, right?
That's right, yep.
And that's basically how pass defense should be played. You know, you don't basically take yourself out of the play by making some kind of vain wave in the air at a pass, right?
I mean, we already gave up a long gain this game because of that, something like that anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Lined up for the kickoff. Nice kick, plenty of distance. From the 7-yard line to the 20.
Missed block by number 48 there. But you might want to check your third down running back situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. It could be just because I use substitutions so much.
Yep, that would be it.
Right? That I might have had a substitution package in for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we go back to the game.
That's what it looks like, because Anderson is right where he's supposed to be.
Yep.
So they have
like here, I'm using a substitution package with this formation.
Oh, missed block.
Yeah. Oh, well, a non-block, basically, right?
Positioning led to that stop behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll do that kind of thing. He's one of the smartest players at defensive end. He always seems to be in position. He uses his hands well, and he has those long arms. And that really helps him shed blocking.
The visiting team come out in a nickel package.
Okay.
Wowee.
Thrown behind, but caught. Oh, the tackle at the 28. Gains.
Was that an all-out blitz or what? Yeah, it was. See, they're sending the linebacker on one side and the nickel corner from the other, right?
Yep.
And the guy covering Gaines was this guy. That's why Gaines was so wide open on that play, right?
Yeah, even though he's not particularly quick.
Yeah.
And welcome back.
It's because they started behind to begin with. There was nothing that he could do about that, right?
Yep.
It's 3rd down and 6 to go. The visiting team come out in a nickel package. Drops back with the throw. Has room.
See, I knew no one was covering Martin or on that play, right?
At the 39-yard
Nope.
line.
See, when you play double coverage, that's why I almost never use double coverage. You see that? Double coverage on the wide receiver there. And double coverage on this wide receiver. That means that if they want to have anybody playing a deep zone at all, they're going to leave somebody uncovered. And I could just read it right from here because this guy is covering Roberts here, right? But there's nobody lined up across from him. They don't have enough people to double both wide receivers and cover everybody.
Yep.
Back to the game.
Well, never mind the fact that double coverage doesn't work as well as it should in this game anyways.
No.
You're better off simulating double coverage by having a zone defender with a man coverage guy. Because that works way better.
First down, John, but they're still leading in this one.
And running is important, but they've got other weapons that can get them in the end zone.
Looks like he's changing the play. Changing the play now. Pass play here on first down with the pass. And this pass is complete.
Ooh, almost broke that one for a big one.
The 47-yard line. They throw it and pick up a second consecutive first down.
Well, when you start to establish something, you want to keep it going until the defense finds a way to stop you.
Despite very little success running on first down, they still lead.
Some teams manage to get by pretty well without a solid running game. And that's mostly because their passing game is very effective, especially their short passing game.
Roberts. Berger takes him down at the 42-yard line. And John is still trying to move the ball on the ground.
This is a tough physical team that likes to run the ball in just about any situation. When you can run the ball consistently, it really wears down the interior line and helps to slow down those pass rushers.
Fires it out to the left. And the catch is made. Diving tackle to bring him down. Number 6 run that one in there for a big gain and a first down.
Well, I'm going to keep doing this until they stop playing the way they are.
The defense doesn't have any time to react to the throw.
Martin goes in motion.
Basically, the best thing they could do right now, if they're going to play a zone defense, is leave the corners out wide.
Passing on first down with the throw. And it's caught. He's at the 20. And he slips out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Number 6 has been perfect on this drive.
Yeah, what happens? You get into a rhythm. The way this guy's throwing, he's going to stay in that rhythm until the defense knocks him out of it.
Looks like he's calling an audible. Number 6 sends a man in motion. Receives the handoff. Number 28 is the guy who's there to bring him down at the 7-yard line. They went with the running play.
You never know when you're going to find some room and break loose into the secondary.
Number 6 with a man in motion. Drops back. Guns it to the end zone. He's there. That's a great catch by the veteran tight end.
He does a great job.
Yeah,
here
McCoy can catch passes too.
And giving his quarterback the window in the end zone.
Yeah, he's really not bad at it at all.
Nope. Well, he's good enough to start for most teams that you and I have ever created.
He's probably good enough to start for most teams.
Yeah. Yeah, well, his overall rating, I think, is 80.
The kick is up, and the extra point is good.
Okay, well, maybe not start, but he's a quality secondary.
The home team.
He could be a starter for any of the cupcake teams that we've ever run.
Yeah, that's true.
He got all of that one. From the 1.
Watch this here. You gets his helmet right under his chin.
Oh, look at this. Hallman dishes it out.
Yup.
Stabler, the lone setback. The corners are moving up to press the receivers. Kaufman with a man in motion. Stabler.
Wow.
Did they just run into the pass rush there?
Yeah, they just ran right into his arms.
There to bring him down.
He brings a lot of things to the table. But the thing I like the most is how prepared he always is. I mean, he can run.
Sometimes you can only shake your
He
head.
watches so much tape that he actually anticipates what the offense is going to run before they call the play.
Rolling out.
Look at this.
Man,
You had to beat 2 blocks in order to get there, but boy, did he ever hold on to the ball for a long time, right?
yeah, no kidding.
Release the ball or throw it away. No excuse for letting a defensive
Ronald
line get
Grimm
down.
gets a sack.
Ball on their own 6. The home team doesn't want a long pass over anybody's head here, so they back up the secondary. Quarterback back in the shotgun.
Ooh, Greg May gets a sack.
Down the offensive line just can't stop that rush.
Yeah, they did a good
See, I
job.
think what happens too is once the score gets to a certain point and you get toward the end of the third quarter, I think the AI starts getting long pass on the brain.
Yeah,
And then that's when you start piling up sacks because, you know, like when...
you have forever to get back there.
Well, yeah, because early on in the game when they're running the ball lots and throwing those short, quick passes and stuff, well, then you seem to be having trouble getting to them. But when he wants to stand back there and hold the ball for 3 seconds on every play, well, you're going to get there before he can before he can find a receiver to throw the ball to, right?
Yep.
Changing the play now.
This ought to be interesting. Okay, well,
Passing on first down. Looking for an option on the run.
wow, okay, he ran quite a long ways backward after catching that.
28-yard
Oh,
line.
it looks like they gave you forward progress, though. I guess it was all contact driven.
Yeah, I guess so.
A pass like that is it cuts down on the time the defender has to react to where the ball's headed.
Again, though, they were bringing blitz there that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the solution is not to blitz more.
Well, I suppose blitzing is probably better than man lock with 11 guys in the box, at least.
Yeah, but the problem is most of the blitz plays that the AI uses,
There was no possibility
Are
of going up the middle
still
and
extremely
picking up
aggressive.
anything.
well, they're dependent on, like,
Get to the 23 to convert for the
you know,
first.
sending extra people, and they don't want to give up
They've
that
done very
5
well on
man to
third down to
man
this point.
thing.
Gains the
Yeah,
most
so they,
so
they
they
tend
end
to
up-
play a lot of one deep.
Yeah, exactly. They'll play one deep or something like that, and then somebody like gets lost in the coverage, right?
with the
Especially in
throw.
a tight formation like this, where,
And
you
the
know,
quarterback is able to
players
tip it away
leak
from
out of the
intended
coverage all the
receiver.
time.
You got a good sense
Yeah.
of knowing where
Well,
the
see
ball
here,
will go
the
down.
reason I threw that pass is because I was looking at Houston here, right? And so far, everything seems to be going to plan, except that they left this guy standing right here.
Yep,
And,
good old spy.
and, you know, like, I can't get the ball to him because basically Houston runs into him too, right?
Yep.
Like, he's at that right depth for that route where he interferes with the receiver. So my options are pretty limited.
Yeah, this is where the wide receiver takes a turn and runs at Ray Lewis, and then Ray Lewis flattens him, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And we're
That's
back.
pretty much what happened there.
He's one of the best in the league, John, but it's a little surprising to see him in from this distance.
Okay, I probably missed that to the right just because I missed it.
Yeah, you might have.
I think
Hopefully-
I think I had enough distance, but I think I probably hooked it.
No.
Oh, okay, well, it made it.
Well, he does have 99 accuracy, so you can actually make a decent amount of errors with him, right?
Cool
Yeah.
and smooth.
We might still be working on his leg strength. We might be working on his leg strength until the end of his career, but his accuracy is there.
Oh, did it again.
Booming kick down.
Oh.
Like I
Okay.
said, his accuracy is there.
And as it turns out to be the best kickoff that he had this game.
Yeah, wow.
He gets a touchback.
First and 10.
Well, I think changing to the 3-man line thing was definitely the solution in this game.
Throwing on first down. Closing in.
Look at that.
He reaches the quarterback. Great job getting in there to drag the quarterback.
The thing is, too, is I guess maybe I could say, even if it's basically the same coverage as the other full man lock that I run, you play this one different. You play it with everybody backed off instead of everybody close up to the line.
Well, and another difference, too, is that your defensive lineman in the middle, right? Your defensive tackle is a far more active pass rush threat than the two guys in the middle are, right?
Kaufman scans the defense from the gun. With the throw, jumps up, he has it. Coleman
Damn
stops him
hookouts.
at the 34.
Yeah, well, they're hard to stop. That's why I like to throw one of those every now and then, too.
Like that, coming down with it is usually not much fun, especially when you got guys nearby who are waiting to put a lick on you.
Quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. Alford with the stop at the 38.
Uh-oh. Get up, Alford.
He's okay.
He's okay.
He's just taking a breather.
They need 6. Loosening up the coverage on the outside. The visiting team line up with 2 backs.
Wow.
See, they left the halfback in to block that time. How did they know?
Well, Seymour there, though, came through anyways.
Yeah.
He's throwing his whole arsenal at him right now.
Here's a look at the third down success rate of each team.
Third down is when you want your players to dig deep and make a clutch play. When you convert, it gives your defense a little extra rest, and it gives your offense a fresh set of downs to work with.
Yeah, he just threw that away before that linebacker could get him there.
I'm going to use it. Boom.
Yeah, but that's worse than a boom. That guy's
Well,
hit
sometimes
position
that's
again.
enough, though.
So they have
Evidently.
first and 10 here. The defense is going to play this one very tight. Stably, the lone setback.
Ooh.
Not what they were looking for in that play call.
Yeah, the back just couldn't decide where he wanted to go with it. He hesitated just a little. By the time he decided where he wanted to go with it, the defense was all over him.
It's second down and a long way to go. Kaufman from the shotgun. Pressure with the throw. He had a shot but couldn't come up with it. He was
Pass
there, but the
defense.
pass slipped out of his
Yep.
hands.
The coaching
That's
staff
what you
thinks
like
that
to
he has
see.
some of the best hands in the team. And it's surprising to see him drop a pass like that.
The corners are moving up to press the receivers. Abrams comes in motion.
Ah,
Pressure coming. Gets rid of it.
yeah. I think that was pretty well covered anyway,
Put the pressure on.
And you'll
in
see
spite
that
of their
kind
little
thing out of these
games.
guys.
Yeah, well, I can switch sides faster than they can snap it.
Opposing offensive line sure have their hands
Even if I
full
had
when you
to
get out of
make a
this
bit of an
He's
effort
in
there.
for his 6th punt of the night. Here's the kick. He's waving for the fair catch. So they have first and 10 here. The visiting team come out in a nickel package, calling an audible. Houston, the man in motion. Tosses it out to the right.
Wow.
Okay.
What kind of blocking was that?
Just gonna give up.
Like, look at this. Right? Where are you going?
Yeah, just block the guy that's right in front
Like,
of you.
seriously, you're the right tackle. Where are you going?
There's no pull assignment on this
Yeah,
play.
there is no pull assignment on this play. Right? Wow, that is just fucked.
And we go back to the game.
That is run blocking in this game is one of the biggest flaws that this game has. It's basically what's wrong with this game in a lot of cases.
The funny thing is, it's perfectly good in Madden 04. Just 1 year difference, and it was perfect, right? That's the one thing that Madden 04 does better than Madden 05.
Yep.
So yeah, Mr. Crown Prince, if you're listening, give us Madden 04 run blocking too.
Got very good penetration there.
Yeah, all of a sudden out of nowhere, I got 2 runs for a loss, right?
Well, you know what? You might want a third down punt this almost.
He knows
Nah.
how to prepare, and it really pays off when you make.
Gonna score a touchdown.
3rd and long. Seven defensive backs in on this one. Number 6 with a man in motion. Changing the play now. Dropping back, looking for an option. Gets the pass off. Great pass.
See?
The
Touchdown.
40, the 30,
Oh my God.
the 10. And the dissection continues. He's now thrown.
I don't know. That's pretty ballsy to call it before you even see them call a play.
That was like a called shot, just like Babe Ruth, eh?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But it's predictable, right? I mean, what do you think is going to happen when the defense lines up like this and it's 3rd down and 14, right? Right? It's 3rd down and 14. Why the fuck do you have everybody within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage?
Shitty play calling.
Right? That's stupid. And you know what? They brought
It's
an
on
extra.
one deep too.
Yeah, and they brought a blitz here. You see that? But
Yep.
that's why I audibled the left tight end into block, right?
Yep.
Left tight end picks up that blitz. These 2 guys are coming from the opposite side to where I want to throw. So I just roll away from them a little bit and then throw a touchdown pass.
Yep.
Let's get back to the play on the
To a
field.
speedy receiver.
Comes in to attempt
Right?
the point after. And
Let
it's
me
on its
run
way.
or I'll tear you a new asshole through the air.
That's
Right?
17 unanswered points.
They don't want to let me run, so that's what's happening to them. I'm going to throw probably for 500 yards in this game.
And they'll let you do it.
And I'm almost there now.
And he got all of that one. A great kick. From the 1-yard line.
And it especially makes me mad when stupid things like that happen, like with that right tackle. It makes me want to punish the game for that, right? And I'm far more likely to drop back and try and throw a long bomb for a touchdown when stuff like that happens than if they had played, decent, proper defense and actually slowed me down. Like if it was 3rd down and 4, I'm probably not going to do that, right?
Yep.
And the thing is, when you get hit like that, it's like having a bumblebee in your helmet. You just can't get rid of it.
Gain of 6 on the play.
Yeah, sure, John. Something bumblebee.
Coming up here. The corner's playing back. Kaufman sends a man in motion. Under pressure, he's looking.
Oh, look at that. Almost with the second effort there.
Out to his receiver,
And almost with the spy pick too.
Yeah, it was just high enough to go over his head, eh?
You want to make sure you make the catch and don't mess something up.
First and 10. Press coverage on the outside. Only one man in the backfield. Hand it off.
Look at him jump over the man coverage guy.
Oh, look at that. Fumbled, and then they got it back. Got a couple more yards.
Yeah, that's a heads-up play. You always need to keep your eyes open because you never know when something like this is going to happen.
So it's first and 10 following the fumble. Stabler in the backfield on the call. He shakes the defender. He just unloaded on him.
Boom. Now that is what football's all about.
I think it's a little late to establish the run now.
Well, they are getting yards for it though. So.
Yeah, they are getting yards, but still, I mean,
out of the shotgun. Gets rid of it.
That's the thing. They're totally backwards in how they play this game because they should be playing the way they are right now in the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
Just when they need him to.
Before the score is out of hand.
Closing in.
Oh, that was almost an interception too.
Yep, he actually hit the defensive back in the hands there.
Yep.
To be honest with you, though, the defensive back was so far to the inside of the field there. Like, how the hell did he hit him with it? It seemed like there was 4 yards of separation between him and the receiver.
Yeah, well.
Just a badly thrown ball, I think. But when you're spraying it away that quickly, maybe it's inevitable that you throw it all over the place.
Yeah, well, I think that the only reason he hasn't thrown an interception is just because he's Grant Kaufman, right?
Houston moves in motion.
He throws it so hard the defensive backs can't get their hands on it.
That's right.
You could hear the collision up here.
All right, the guy puts both hands up to get the interception, and then it hits his hands and bounces off, and he goes, "Ah, fuck!" And he swings his hands after, and he's going, because it stings, right?
Yeah.
Number 6 with a man in motion.
Yeah, because Grant Kaufman's another one of those quarterbacks with 99 throw power.
Yep.
Looking for a receiver, launches it deep to the left.
Wow, you actually managed it that time.
Yep. It was just out of the DB's reach.
1st and 10.
Well, so long as they keep crowding the line and you know, like that kind of thing. If they play like this, I'll try and run against them more, right?
And it's not like this isn't a aggressive like lineup. Like both of those safeties are still inside of 10 yards.
Yep. Well, and you know what? The end result there wasn't that bad either, right?
But there's a difference between your safeties being inside of 10 yards and inside of 5 yards. You really don't need them inside of 5 yards.
No, I don't think you should ever move them up that close.
Not unless it's a goal line situation.
Well, the thing is, you know what? I have defenses where I will move them up that close, but
you replace them with someone else.
I replace them with someone else, and I'm always, even in those types of formations, I'm still playing 3 deep zones, right?
Yep, at least.
Well, usually I am. I'm playing 3 deep zones when I use that nickel blitz package.
They have to reach the 41 to convert. As they get ready for this 3rd down play, we'll take a look at how they've done today.
3rd down conversions is a keeper stat. When you convert on 3rd down, you keep 3 things.
Okay, well, this looks like some kind of a zone flood type of situation here.
And you keep your defense resting on the sideline.
Looking for an option, throwing on the run.
Oh, going to be just a little bit short.
No, that's okay.
Stop just short of the 1st down marker on that.
Well, when you're ahead 48-10, that's the kind of play you run on 3rd down and 5, though, right?
What? You mean that you don't run the dive play on 3rd and 5?
Well, I wanted to have a possibility of, you know, making a 1st down.
I mean, you know, if you go between the guard and the center, you can make a lot of yardage.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, we're playing the Desperados, right? And they're not usually going to give up a 5-yard run on 3rd and 5.
2-minute warning coming up.
I mean, I have trouble getting a 5-yard run in normal circumstances here.
Kaufman back in the shotgun. Dropping back.
Whoa, got him again.
That one was a speed sack, I think.
Yeah, well, that guy's got, like I said, he's got 90 acceleration, right?
Yeah.
He's got 3 sacks in this game. The right outside linebacker is just coming after him here. Ooh. Oh. Now, wowee.
I don't think that was supposed to be a screen, actually, Al. I think you're being a little generous there.
Yeah, I think that was a panic swing pass because the pressure got through there so fast.
Drops back. Pressure coming with the pass.
Ooh.
Incomplete.
You know what? I'm going to call the punt block here.
Going to put the block on?
And put the actual
block on. Well, you never know.
On.
If he gets the bad snap and has to jump in the air for it, maybe there's a small chance you might get a block. I've never seen a block punt in this game, but, you know.
Here's the kick.
Yeah, they usually just do that dive instead.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of jumping in the air with their hands up, they fall flat on their faces, right?
That's okay. I'll run in there and I'll break a tackle and then get you to the 40 anyways, which is about the same result as what it would have been if I'd...
Yeah, basically, you just gave me the ball back where I had it, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the last drive. This is where I had the ball. And they're still playing an 11-man line here.
Going to the air on first down. Throwing.
Oh, I got away with throwing that one a bit late.
Yeah, that seems like a couple of times, though, they've just been a little off on their timing this game.
Look at the receiving yardage for the fullback, right? 123 yards receiving.
Well, he's an important player doing important player things.
Yep, he's doing important work. Martin is. That's why I wanted him to be the fullback too, though, right? You need somebody who can catch and run, playing that second fullback position in my offense. With some teams where I don't have a player like Martin, I'll use the third tight end in that position, right?
Fullback handoff. Mitchell with the stop at the 20-yard line. They'll need to reach the 11-yard line to convert for the first down. Come on now, let's do
this. Well, we'll run the clock down some here.
Let's get him. Houston moves in motion. Gain. Number 28 makes the tackle at the 14-yard line. Pickup of about 5.
Well, that was officially the last play you had to run.
Yep.
Benson looking to make a good kick here. The kick is up. He had plenty of room to
Might as well. Why not?
Preserve your inside the 20.
Yep. 51-10. Wow.
A lot of scoring, but a one-sided game.
You know, I don't think the Desperados are the best team in the league. I think that we are.
Yeah, well, that's a given, right?
Because we killed these guys. Like, wow.
To be fair, they let us do it.
Yeah, well, their defense played absolutely terrible. two players each with 100 yards receiving. Wow. Well, let's analyze this thing. I managed 57 yards on the ground. Wow, eh?
Yep.
457 yards passing.
You know, somehow I still didn't give up that many yards.
No, you didn't. It's because while they were able to move the ball at times, they were inconsistent, right? But look at the time of possession, right? Because whenever I got the ball, I usually scored quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like there isn't that doubling up of the time of possession like we often get. I guess their strategy was to let me score quick so that they could get the ball back quickly, right?
And then punt it away quickly?
Yep.
They wanted to punt as fast as possible in this game.
So there you go. I had an 81-yard touchdown pass in this game. Completed 31 of 35. But you know what? That 81-yard touchdown pass, you know, that was absolutely, in my opinion, that's absolutely unforgivable.
Yep.
Right? To call that kind of a defensive play, that's absolutely incompetence. Right?
Yep.
I can't say anything else about it. If you put a quarter defense on, there's no way you should give up an 81-yard pass.
Well, hopefully as we get further into the season, they'll smarten up a little. I mean, they do tend to play a little better as you get into the season.
Yeah.
But that was pretty awful.
So anyway, we didn't do much on the ground. Gaines and Roberts both kind of had trouble getting anything going. Martin caught 9 passes for 123 yards. Quincy White broke the 100-yard mark, and then had a couple of guys here with around 40 yards too. So lots of people got a chance to catch a pass today. And 4 touchdown passes, no drop passes, right? And there you are, Deuce Anderson with an 81-yard. See, that's why you have those speedy halfbacks, right?
Yep.
It's not because of their running abilities, it's because they're passing weapons.
Well, it's also because of their running abilities.
Yeah. So look at that, Rashad Holman with 10 tackles.
Yep, he had a good game.
And Tony Seymour with 3 sacks and 7 tackles. And Greg May with 6 tackles and a sack. And Ronald Grimm gets a sack too. Look at that. See, you're going to have to relent and play that 3-man line a little bit every so often. You got no interceptions, but you did have 8 knockdown passes.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of those were guys getting hit in the hands.
Yeah, and dropping it. And you came within a whisker of scoring a safety in this game, too. Basically, he had to break 2 tackles behind the goal line, just to get out of his own end zone again, right?
Yep.
Well, my net average was not great, but I had both of those were inside the 20 punts, so there you go. And Grant Kaufman managed to complete 14 of 30 pass attempts for 142 yards. And they gave the ball to Stabler 21 times, and he only averaged 2.9 yards per carry.
Yeah, which is surprising.
Yep.
And that guy did all right, but he only had 2 carries.
Well, they did have a little bit of success on the ground in the second half, right? Yeah, and they had 5 drop passes in this game. However, that seems to be a thing that happens with your defenses a lot too, though, is that because of the way that the defense plays when they hit receivers when they're trying to catch the ball and stuff like that, it seems like they force a lot of those drops.
Well, and we've got a lot of defensive back, because we've been drafting defensive backs who are linebackers and safeties. We've got a lot of guys on the team now with like 70 plus tackling at the defensive back position, which is very, very high for a defensive back.
Yeah, so I only had 2 passes knocked down, and I did have 5 runs for a loss. And it seemed like they were all almost in one series, like one possession. Right. Suddenly, after not managing to avoid those runs for a loss, suddenly it seemed like every time I handed the ball off, I took a loss. Right.
Yep.
That's why I got Madden through that 81-yard touchdown pass, right? Because that was just too cheesy. Who's the player of the game? Who do you think is the player of the game? I think it's Recvi5X.
Really?
Throwing 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
And quarterback check.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, like, how do you have a performance like that and not be player of the game?
That's
right?
true. That's true.
Throw for 457 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, you don't even need quarterback check for that.
Nope. So anyway, that's week 1 out of the way. And the Desperados did not provide us with very much of a challenge.
Indeed.
We destroyed them.
Yeah, we pretty much ran right over them.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess that's it for this week. So until next time.
I'm RecV5.
And I am Sandman99.
Have a good one.